Hello everyone and welcome to another short guide, this time on the Wintersun mod, specifically the Hermaeus Mora deity. We're going to be talking about how to get started worshipping this deity, also what the worshipper status gives you, and what the devotee status gives you once you've reached 100% favor. Okay, so there are a few ways to get started with worshipping Hermaeus Mora. The first and most obvious way is to do the Discerning the Transmundane quest. You can kick off this side quest usually within the normal course of the main quest line once you reach the Septimus Cygnus's outpost out here in the northernmost reaches of the Sea of Ghosts. So yeah, once you go inside there and you talk to the crazy lunatic Septimus Cygnus, you will then meet Hermaeus Mora, and you can become a follower of his from there. Now you can also go directly to the Sunken Shrine, which is the shrine to Hermaeus Mora. And you can find this way deep underneath the water, just west and a little bit north of Septimus Cygnus's outpost. So this does take a little bit of swimming. I would recommend using some kind of potion of water breathing if you have it. Otherwise, you'll just have to be really quick. And way down deep on the ocean's floor, you will find a glowing book called The Devotions of Hermaeus Mora. And then you can read this to get Hermaeus Mora's blessing, or you can start earning favor with him by being a worshiper at this point. Now, if you pray at that shrine, you will get the Blessing of Hermaeus Mora, which makes spells and effects that you cast on yourself last an extra 15% longer. You can also gain the Blessing of Hermaeus Mora in Apocrypha through the Waking Dreams Black Book. After you defeat Mirak, you'll just have to approach the book back to Solstheim, and you will be granted the Blessing of Hermaeus Mora. You can also become a follower of Hermaeus Mora from here as well. The third and final way is probably also the easiest, quickest, and most recommended way is through the Conjuration skill book, Doors of Oblivion. All you have to do is read this book and you will be offered the chance to follow Hermaeus Mora. You can find this book in a few different places, but most notably, you can find it in Felglow Keep, which is part of the College of Winterhold questline. But the easiest and best way to find it is here in Falkreath in Runil's hut, also called the Hall of the Dead. And this one can be a little tricky to find. You'll want to look underneath the foot of the bed on the left, and you will find the Conjuration skill book, The Doors of Oblivion. All you have to do is read this book and you will be prompted whether or not you want to follow Hermaeus Mora. This is the way I would recommend doing it. If you want to follow Hermaeus Mora, I would suggest doing it as soon as possible. You only earn favor with Hermaeus Mora by reading new skill books, reading Eldritch pages, and reading Eldritch tomes, which I'll talk about in the next section. But the skill books are limited. You can only read them once and get the credit for it, and there are only a certain amount of them scattered around the world. And the Eldritch pages show up throughout your playthrough, but they are very rare. Hermaeus Mora worship is a slow burn, but the rewards are fantastic. So yes, if you're going to follow Hermaeus Mora, do this as soon as possible and get started early on in your playthrough, and you'll reap the most benefit from it. Alright, so let's talk about what you get for being a simple worshiper of Hermaeus Mora. Well, you get to gather these Eldritch pages from slain enemies as such. Now, these pages really only spawn, from what I've noticed, on humanoid enemies, such as people of all races, Draugr, skeletons, some ghosts. I've also seen them strangely on spectral warhounds that you encounter in Labyrinthian as part of the College of Winterhold questline. I also would expect them to appear on Falmer as well, but I don't remember finding any on them. So when you do encounter these on a slain enemy's corpse, please do make sure to read them by activating them from the list. And then you'll get the funny little message there, fragments of terrible truths reveal themselves. And you'll also see that your favor with Hermaeus Mora is increased. You'll also want to take them because you can use these pages to create Eldritch tomes, which give you a strong permanent buff later on. But do make sure that you both read them and then take them in that order. Otherwise, once they get stacked on top of each other, it becomes difficult to read specific pages from that stack. Now, once you've found a set of of 8 matching pages, you can craft at a tanning rack an Eldritch Tome, which will impart a powerful permanent buff to your character. All you have to do is take the 8 pages to a tanning rack, and the Eldritch Tomes will be available for crafting. So now let's take a look at what each one of these Eldritch Tomes do for you. A Student's Tower will make novice spells 50% better. Fury and Emperor makes illusion spells and scrolls 20% better. Minstrel of Arcana makes all spells from any school cast 15% less magicka to cast. Rattling the Bones makes alteration spells and scrolls 20% better. Skeins of Life make restoration spells and scrolls 20% better. The Earthshaker makes you immune to stagger and take 40% less damage while casting a two-handed spell or scroll. These spells would include the master level ritual spells. The First Breath makes shouts 20% more powerful. The Scepter of Worlds makes conjuration spells and scrolls 20% better. Words in Old Stone makes shouts last 20% longer. And Wrathful Deities makes destruction spells and scrolls 20% better. In this context, better means either more magnitude or lasts longer. Now, if you find another set of 8 Eldritch pages, you can craft another Eldritch Tome, but these act as spell books in that you can only read them once and then they'll have no effect after the first time. But these Eldritch Tomes are quite valuable. You can sell them for a pretty good amount of money if you've already read them. Finally, let's talk about what you get as a devotee of Hermaeus Mora once you get your favor up to and beyond 100%. So as a devotee, when you pray to Hermaeus Mora, you get the option called Glimpse of Omniscience to spend 5% favor on one level in any skill. And you can do this as many times as you want as long as you stay above 100% favor. This is a great way to level skills late in the game when progression becomes really slow and training becomes really expensive. Okay, and that does it for another quick Skyrim guide, this time on worshipping Hermaeus Mora with the Wintersun mod. If you found this helpful or entertaining, please do hit the like button, it helps the channel a lot, and consider subscribing for more little guides like this and even full build guides. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.